All right, Nick. I am not back from commercial yet, but not ideal. Is what we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Score 3-0. Just FYI.
Uh-oh.
Did my camera die?
I think your camera died.
Oh, dude. No. No, 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 no. Not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. Hold on. Not tonight.
Did you not get the battery pack I sent?
I know, Nick. You're gonna get mad at me. Now listen, I think I think I actually have a solution. Just give me a minute. It's gonna take me a minute. It's gonna take me a minute, but you know what? I got multiple solutions.
What's up, chat? How we doing? We doing good? I'm sure
chat's probably
in great
not good.
Spirits, having a lovely Friday night. What a time to be alive. Kimbrel. Hey, I've seen him blow a save to the Reds before.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I feel like Craig Kimbrel is either absolutely dominant or like completely craps the bed. I feel like there's never any in between. So let's hope it's the completely crap in the bed portion of the season. All right, Will, let's go. Need some likes. We need some likes. Do-do-do. Oof. I don't even know if I'm still on. Am I still on, chat?
Oh, you're on.
Okay, I'm on. All right, good. I don't have an extra tab open with my Echo, so I don't know what's going on. All right, we need to update this. We got some scores. Oh, look at that.
See if this will work for a minute.
Hey, I mean, it's better than nothing.
That's right.
Although some of your freeze frames have kind of become legendary around these parts.
Yeah, well, it's par for the course tonight, if we're being honest. I mean, not only did they not start the game on time, but then we proceeded to watch this.
Okay, thank you for that, Paul.
Yep.
All right. Fight Johnny.
There's a chance I actually have a battery. I think I have a battery up there.
I got one sitting right here.
Yeah, I have no excuses. You know, sometimes you put your hand up in life and you say you made a mistake, and I did. I know what I could have done to fix the problem, and I never did it. Here I am.
Well,
I'm looking at the camera, thinking that's the camera. It's right here. It's bad night. I don't know.
Gotta order it. You gotta order it.
I'm going to. I have to now. You know, it's like
you never have to worry about it.
I know.
Never have to worry about it.
Exactly. And I mean, It would be set up. I'm an idiot. Just leave it at that.
We don't need to go that far.
God, this thing.
Well, poor Hunter Green, man. God, this guy be like, does this team ever score for me? We needed to.
I'm so sad. Like, I'm so sad. You have no idea.
Hey, Elly's up. Elly's up. Elly's up. Elly is up.
Literally the only guy.
He's the only one that's got on base, right? I see 0 walks, and yeah, I see 0 other hits.
Just Elly.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Looks kind of like the Cavs tonight. Old Donovan Mitchell. No one else could score or play defense.
Just put me out of my misery.
Nah. Not this play discipline, Elly.
Nobody needed Nick Kirby back in their life more than me. You guys have no clue how bad I've been. I mean, I'm down. I'm down real bad, man.
It just sucks because clearly Mike Ford would have hit 4 home runs in this game. I mean, and we would have won.
I tell you what, he'd had a hell of a better chance than some of these bastards. I can promise you that. We can sit there and poke the bear all we want.
Oh no! Elly.
I mean, that's okay. That's okay. Hey, you know what they say? You hang around people, they eventually bring you down to their level. So unfortunately for Elly, at some point, that's what's going to happen for him too. He's not immune to the disease either, I guess.
And that was the good version of Greg Kimbrell.
It was.
Or maybe. I don't know. Who knows really if that was good or bad.
Listen, guys, if you don't want to hang around for this, I would just say you should. Now, I'm going to do something that you probably don't want me to do, but we got to change it up. I've played the short intro 3 straight times. I'm not doing it again. We got to change the vibes up. We've got to find us a way to start winning some baseball games. If we're not going to win some baseball games, we can at least find a way to maybe get a hit or two. And I'm not talking to Elly, and for everybody else. So you're going to get the full intro, and maybe I can get a battery in my camera. If not, you're going to get 1 toxic trace through a phone camera. That's what you're going to get, all right? We'll see you in a minute.
Get out of here, baseball! It's gone! Oh, my God! You believe it? Johnny Bench has tied it up. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in 4 straight. It was a sweep.
In the dirt, it's a wild pitch. Here comes Foster. The Reds win the pennant.
Hawkins won the game.
That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none.
Welcome, Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again.
Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded. The outfield deep and around toward right, and the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on. Long drive. Right field. And this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive. Hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club.
Benson's first home run is a walk-off winner. That ball had a family.
And De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb.
Spins Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say, I told you. That is Joey Votto's 315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive. Left center field. Racing back to the Laurent Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Red win! Win! Line to right field. Genius, the first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Cruz.
All right, Nick. I think I fixed that. All right. Well, sometimes it turns out if you do things, they work out for you in life. And finally, being able to know where another battery is. And wasn't sure if it was charged, but you know what? Here I am. Here I am. I don't think I'm in good spirits. I want to get this out of the way. Okay, I want to get this out of the way. We do have 152 people in here, so I just want all of you to know that this is also for me as well. Okay, now Man Therapy, they wanted us to do humor inside of these Ohio suicide prevention tips. You know, they're a sponsor of ours. They want to help men specifically know that there is help out there if you need help and you're having some issues. I'm gonna let you know the number's 988. Okay, it's in my phone, and I want you to know that if you need to go there tonight, mantherapy.org, you can do it. Everyone would understand, because if you have to watch this every single night, at some point we're all gonna be there. Even Nick. It got so low that my man Sadak had to go to Kirby Twitter to try to cheer himself up tonight. He was down that bad. When John Sadak is so tired of watching this team play, he pulls out his phone and goes, "What can I possibly do tonight? I'm going to Nick Kirby's Twitter, and I'm going to find it to try to make myself feel better." And what did he do? He pulled out a nice stat about Hunter Green. You know why? Because that's the only damn thing that looked nice tonight. I digress. Welcome back, Nick. I am so happy to have you back. I don't know if you really understand how happy I am, but I hope the newborn's doing well. Of course, that's first and foremost. As always, as a reminder to all of us, it's just a baseball game. Kind of. It's kind of our lives, too. But it is just a baseball game. Nick, I'll just ask you, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Trace, hoping to watch a little bit better of a ball game for my first game back. But overall doing well. Didn't appreciate the rain delay. Got a very early appointment for the baby. First trip to the pediatrician bright and early. So didn't appreciate the rain delay or the Reds offense. But I'm doing well.
I'm going to do my best not to ruin the show from the start, okay? If it's not going to be hard for me to go off the rails at some point tonight, I'm going to try to stay on the best I can. But I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. At some point, we need some help. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know what help we can get. At least pray. I mean, I hope the post-game press conferences, they start asking these guys, what are they doing? And if they haven't suggested praying, maybe they should start. I don't know. But let's get into the show. As always, a losing edition here. Unfortunately for the Chatterbox Reds, again, they lose to the Baltimore Orioles 3-0 on a City Connect night. So shout out to the City Connect uniforms. But other than that, not so hot. All right, box score recap. Nick Kirby, glad to have you back. Look at this, guys. This is why Nick's the best.
All right, Reds taking on the Baltimore Orioles. First of 3 at Great America Ballpark. 2.5-hour rain delay before we got started. Hunter Green, he was fantastic once again. 5 2/3 scoreless innings. Did walk 4 batters, but struck out 5. Green left 2 runners on with 2 outs in the 6th. Fernando Cruz got a strikeout swing to get out of the inning. Left the score 0-0. Top of the 7th, David Bell elected to pull Cruz despite throwing just 6 pitches. He brought in Emilio Pagan. Pagan gave up a single, flyout, double, and homer. The balls were hit 94, 105, 96, and 104 miles per hour. That made it 3-0 Orioles. Reds were dominated by another pitcher who extended a long scoreless streak against the Reds. Cole Irvin threw 6 1/3, 2 hit, no walk innings, extended his scoreless streak to 20 2/3 innings. Elly De La Cruz, your only Red to reach base. Another great night for him, 2 for 4, double, stole his 19th base. Major League Baseball leading, but Reds fall 3-0. Reds now 16-16 on the season.
All right, well, it's the deep drive of the day. You've got to be kidding me. I wasn't expecting it. It came out of nowhere. Santiago Espinal, the DSC deep drive of the game. 374 feet, only if it had another 35 feet left in it. I mean, this is the depths of hell. I don't know. Some are saying that it can't get any lower. I think that it can. That's the sad part. Because if it wasn't for Elly De La Cruz, my God, what do we do? What do we do? Can we at least get like an interview from Matt McClain from time to time? I mean, just remind me that guy exists. Like, we should have a 4th inning chat live with Matt McClain. Don't worry about the inning. Just make sure it's when the Reds are hitting. We don't have nothing to watch. I don't know. We are who we are at this point. The rain delay, let's get into it. I don't know exactly what that was about. It seemed as if maybe there was a little bit of a cell coming at the beginning of the game, and then the cell seemingly came and passed, and we decided to wait another hour regardless. But, who wants a good start time, Nick? I mean, at this point, we haven't had a good start time in like a week. Might as well just keep them going. That's what I was thinking. Let's see if we can't start this game at 9:50. Why not? They did do the fireworks though before the game. Shout out to them. Maybe that was the delay. And you know what? If that was the delay, by the way, I want some I need some insiders down at Great American Ballpark, because I want to know if there was some contractual obligation that they had to shoot those fireworks off by a certain time, and they said, hey, just so you know, we're going to have to shoot these fireworks off. And then there was somebody in the old corporate office that says, you better shoot those fireworks off. We told XYZ company that we were going to do that every Friday. And then all of a sudden they were like, well, we'll just delay the game. Shoot the fireworks off. We'll start it after that. That just came to my mind. Am I a conspiracy theorist for that? I don't know. But maybe at least that's an answer. Maybe we could get an answer out of the front office or at least somebody in the Reds community, as in like they work there, those people. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah, I don't think that was the reason. I think the Reds were trying to be overcautious with Hunter Green. I think they didn't want him to warm up and kind of have to go through. I think that was what it was more about. Now, it might have been, who knows if it hurt the Reds' offense or not. You think it would be advantage offense typically in these type of situations. when a pitcher kind of has to have their routine thrown off. But yeah, it was an unfortunate rain delay when it looked like I was watching the radar and I'm like, where's the rain? I don't see it.
Well, I'll tell you who it didn't affect. It didn't affect Clayton Kershaw. I mean, Irvin. All right, let's get into it. I mean, the Reds offense, man. I'm laughing. This laugh right here that I have is when my kids, they piss me off so damn bad in the middle of the public that I just want to wring their necks. I just want to tell them off so damn bad, but I can't do it because I'm looking around, and if I do it, everybody's going to judge me hardcore. But right now, I can't do it with these guys. It's not that they got 2 hits, Nick. It's that we watch just piss poor at bat after piss poor at bat. It'd be one thing if we could string an inning together. If we strand the bases loaded 2 or 3 innings, would I be frustrated? Yes. But you know what? At least I feel like we have some competent at bats up there. I mean, we're getting balls fisted. We got 92-mile-an-hour fastballs going right down the middle. Meanwhile, our color analyst is up there in the booth telling me how great of a pitch it was. It was right down the middle, Barry. Right down the middle. 92 miles an hour, brother. That's not a great pitch. Maybe in like middle school, but here we are. How do we fix it, Nick? Please. I don't know. I mean, this is a big task for you right on the first show. I don't know how you fix it. That's my real problem. There's no solution.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of easy fixes. I mean, the most disappointing thing is I think that you look up and you don't get a single walk the entire night. I know the pitcher you're facing, Corv, and he's a control pitcher. He doesn't walk a ton of guys, but man, just you know, I don't really even remember, and I gotta be honest, I wasn't dialed in pitch by pitch as much as I normally am able to for obvious reasons.
Good excuses.
It didn't feel like there was a lot of even deep counts, right?
No.
Outside of Elly De La Cruz. Elly De La Cruz is the only guy that can have a competitive at bat. And look, there's plenty of built-in excuses with obviously Stevenson and CES not really playing for a week. Jake Fraley has no business playing against a lefty. I mean, I guess like, but the problem is though, Trace, you look at this lineup, and this really is probably the lineup you almost won against left-handed pitching. There's outside of Jake Fraley.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could call up Mike Ford. I know he's a lefty that's hit lefties well throughout his career. I tend to think a lot of that stuff ends up leveling back out. You could have him DH and you move someone around.
I mean, you're trying your best, man.
There's not really. I mean, TJ Friedl's coming back.
Yes,
I'm assuming probably Tuesday. Just kind of the way he's been used makes me think they're going to be very aggressive with him, and also the product at Great American Ballpark. I don't think they're going to mess around too long. He'll help, but I mean, it's I don't know. It's just a situation where like Spencer Steer's ice cold, and with Spencer Steer's ice cold, you have nothing other than Elly.
It's so bad. I mean, it's so bad. Here's the only thing I'm going to say. The front office could at least do something for the fan base. Just throw us a bone. I know it doesn't matter. I'm well aware that if you bring up Mike Ford, it means next to nothing. I do get it. I understand why everybody wants to make the joke about, oh, should we bring up Mike Ford? That's going to put us over the hump. I get it. But you know what I kind of use this analogy to? It's kind of like you're walking down the middle of the grocery aisle and you just accidentally bump into somebody and they spill all of their stuff, you know? They bust their milk and everything. Can you really fix the problem? No, but you can at least bend over and pick their stuff up and try to act like you care and help them out a little bit. You know, show some common courtesy. I'm just looking for a little common courtesy from the front office. You know, if they want to go out and get, I don't care who it is, just make me feel like you care about me, you know? Just tell me you love me. Go down there and just get somebody up. As if it means that Bubba Thompson has to go down or Nick Martini has to go down to make you feel like I care about you or I care about you, whatever I'm trying to say right now, just do it. Just do it. You know, you know how when you walk into a room and you say, hey, how you doing? You don't give a shit how they're doing. You don't care. You're just trying to be nice. That's what I'm looking for my front office right now. I know you can't fix the problem, but at least Act like you care a little bit. Just give me somebody. Meanwhile, I got Bubba Thompson sitting on the bench over here. To be honest with you, maybe we should just stick him in there when we get a guy on first base in the second or third inning and just see if he can't steal all the bases. Maybe that's the way we score. I don't know. But I give up at this point, to be clear.
No one's going to complain about Elly being too aggressive on the bases anymore. Like, just steal home, brother. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and it doesn't help, by the way, when I look down at my phone and I see MLB notification. Miami Marlins decide that they're going to trade a guy that's been an incredible second baseman for, like, basically his whole career for I don't even know what to the Padres, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know what they gave up for that. That's rare. You don't see a lot of
No, you
trades
don't.
in May. I mean, the one that comes to mind that felt like it kind of did backfire on the Reds. I know the Reds were actually in talks, and it looked like the Reds were on the right side of history, and now I'm kind of maybe thinking they weren't. Was Willie Adames got traded about the same time when the Reds really needed a shortstop in 2021, and then later it came out that the asking price was Jonathan India right after he won Rookie of the Year, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, they made the right move there." And I was kind of like, "Well, maybe they actually didn't." I don't, so yeah, I don't know.
Are they really going to let Mike Ford walk though? If we're being honest, when you at least have options available for some of these guys, like I'm not trying to be overly crazy and be like, since they didn't bring in Mike Ford, I'm gonna like pick it, or I'm basically gonna boycott the fan or the team and not watch him or something. I'm not going that far, but it does seem like what are we doing? Like why even like if I got Nick Krall behind closed doors, I'd be like, why even bring him into spring training, dude? Like he did everything you asked him to do to make the team out of spring. You didn't let him make the team, or you said he wasn't ready, or whatever you want to use the excuse for. And then you have like almost everything to a T that has to happen for you to want to bring him up, and you still don't bring him up, then what was the whole point in the first place? I don't know if there's a good answer there, Nick.
I have no idea. Why did Mike Ford come back to the Reds? Like, why did Mike Ford not say, you know what? Hey, I might not make another major league deal, but I think I'm going to go play in the minors for someone else other than the team that, I played pretty well for. Yeah, I don't understand it. I would love to get the answer. I know I said it on the podcast I did with Bryce this morning. I'm still holding out hope that Nick Martini can be a decent bat for this team. I think the move is Bubba Thompson. This team can't afford to have a guy that goes 4 games without playing.
Right. Like, he didn't play tonight. I got a left-handed pitcher.
He's literally only a pinch runner. Like, a guy like Bubba Thompson is a guy that fits a roster where you have like no platoon players. Like the Reds have a ton of platoon players and a ton of not very good players. Like they're like the worst case scenario for a roster spot like that.
Right.
So that's just what I don't know. Like at least Nick Martini, like this team clearly I think needs some power. Like they need to run into some home runs. And we know that Nick Martini is capable of getting hot, especially when you have a lot of games at Great American Ballpark. And I know he's been terrible. I get all that. But he at least has the capability of doing something like that. I don't get the Bubba Thompson roster spot. I'd like to see Mike Ford feel that. Even if you're just completely against Mike Ford and their evaluations are just like against, I can live with that. But, maybe give a guy like Rhys Hines a shot. Rhys Hines has immense power. He's a right-handed bat. At least he might strike out 4 times tonight. But hey, he also might accidentally run into one, and that's a little bit better than some of the guys in the situations we're running out there right now.
I agree. I would say this about Bubba Thompson because I think he deserves a little bit of respect. I know he gets slandered a lot, and you know why he's getting slandered? It's because everybody else isn't performing to the level that we had hoped them to perform at, and or they're not available. I want to say that on the front end. On the back end, however, I do want to say that the only real place for Bubba Thompson to probably play on a major league team is one of 2 ways. To what you said, he's playing on an unbelievable team that, quite honestly, they only use him to pinch run, and they can get away with basically just having a slot available just specifically for that. Or he plays on the world's worst team and you're just running him out there because he's one of the only options you got, and you just want to see if he can stick. Outside of that, he really doesn't have a place. And maybe you can convince me in the playoffs, if the Reds were to make the postseason, you'd bring him back up in the situation that you expect there to be really close games, low-scoring games, whatever it may be, and you want to use him late in games. I'm fine with that. But on an everyday basis right now, it just doesn't make any logical sense. So we're on the same page there. We'll see what they end up doing, but I think we both agree that sadly, and it's not really, I don't want to make it sound like it's an excuse, but sadly, at some point, you're kind of either beat or you're not, right? Like, if you're in a boxing match, you can have all the strategy in the world. But if the guy's just overpowering you and you're not good enough, you're probably, no matter what you get told in the corner, you're getting knocked out. Well, right now, I'm not trying to make excuses for this team and say, it's nobody's fault. Well, let's face it. This is not the team that me, you, or anybody in the chat thought we were going to be competing with on a night-in, night-out basis. I'm not making excuses for them, but I'm just saying that's the reality. And if you don't like the reality, that's fine as well. Understand. No problem at all.
Yeah, and look, Bubba Thompson, 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts. He has done his job.
Elite.
He's done his job as exactly how you would want it out of him. Nothing against him at all. Like, he'd be fine if he's on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The Reds just can't afford Bubba Thompson taking a roster spot. It just makes no sense to me with the options that you have. Get some other bat, someone that's capable of, and I prefer a guy that honestly is more of feast or famine than calling up.
Right. You'd rather there be a ceiling.
I'd rather, maybe you could run into a home run here or there. And Mike Ford is a guy that fits that. Reese Hines would be a guy that fits that. Those are probably the two. I know there's some other names. I know people liked Connor Capel. I don't really see it with him.
I agree.
I don't think he has. I think if he did what Nick Martini has done last year plus this year combined, I think that would be great. So I don't know. But you're overall you're rearranging deck chairs. I mean, let's make sure, like,
correct.
It'd be nice to do something, but there's not a whole lot of really great options right now.
Couldn't agree with you more. And let's all be very clear right now. This is, and we said this before we got into this. I said 13 and 17. I know some people took that personal, and I know some people probably thought that I was being a little overly, like, optimistic or whatever the right word, like overly pessimistic of saying, like, 13 and 17, like, that's not good. Well, I got news for you. We're 3 games below 500 of of the run that we're making, and we still haven't done the West Coast swing trip, and we still haven't played the Dodgers. So take it for what you want. And we still have 2 games against this Baltimore Orioles team. So my point is we just survive in advance, guys. Like, this isn't a good team right now. We all know it's not a good team, but we can be a good team if we finally get our feet underneath us and we can kind of survive this area right now. Again, to use the boxing analogy or UFC, whatever combat sport you like we've been put on the canvas and there's about a minute left in the round and we're hurt really bad. We just got to survive the round and we got to get back in our corner, get cleaned up, come back out, and then try to start winning some rounds after that. Again, season's not over. Watching this is so incredibly difficult to watch right now. But ultimately, again, we're 500. I'm not saying that as to be proud about it, by the way. But I do want to say it's not like this team has to be 5 to 10 games over 500 around the All-Star break to make this have to be. Like, you don't have to be that. We know this. Maybe you believe in the Brewers. Maybe you believe in the Cubs. Maybe you think the Cardinals are going to make a run. But point is that we all know this division is going to probably wind up around 84, 85 wins. That's the expectation. If the Brewers get hot or the Cubs get hot and they run away with it with 90-plus wins, okay, that's fine. The wild card is probably going to be sitting right around 84, 85 wins. But to be very clear, to say I'm not concerned right now over the next 20 days, I don't know if we're going to get out of the round with 1 minute left is my concern. So we'll find out. The only thing that gives us hope is what we're talking about next, Nick. And that is obviously our starting pitching. Hunter Green, I know people are going to be frustrated because he didn't throw deep into the game. Listen, I'm not here to say that there's not some validity to the idea that we would like Hunter to throw farther into the game. But you can't have it both ways. Like, you can't expect Hunter Green to throw basically 0-run baseball 7-8 innings every time he goes out. It's impossible to ask. It's an impossible ask. I would rather, if you told me, hey, would you rather Hunter Green throw, 95 pitches, go 7 complete innings and give up 4 runs, or go 5 1/3, give up 0 runs? I'm picking 5 1/3, 0 runs, personally. I don't know how you feel, but that's how I feel. Your overall thoughts on Hunter Green tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of tough luck this year. This is the second game that he's had a long rain delay that he's kind of messed up his timing on the start. Interesting. Once again, he just went to his bread and butter, 4-seam and slider, through 1 splitter. That was it. Everything else was a fastball or slider. So it's funny that and I'm not trying to like dig and say that the talk about him needing the third pitch is invalid or anything. It's kind of ironic that his last 2 starts have been great, and he's literally only gone to his 2 pitches, and it's working for him. The one thing that I found really interesting tonight was he gave up a lot of fly balls in this one, which you don't see a ton of from Hunter Green, but there was a lot of very weak fly balls. I don't remember Hunter Green giving up a ton of just like those ugly fly balls that are easy outs.
Right.
I don't know. That was interesting, and I don't really know what the reason for that was. It just was kind of interesting to watch hitters go up there, take big hacks, and have kind of ugly swings and just lazy fly balls into the outfield. That's just not something you see a whole lot with Hunter Green.
I thought that the Orioles really, for the most part, were not taking. Like, they were not very zone disciplined tonight. I didn't think it was, quite honestly, their best offensive night in regards to try to grind out at bats against Hunter. They do have some great players. You can tell they have some great hitters without question that ultimately ended up kind of getting to the bullpen. They got to Green a couple times too. The first inning, Green was a little fortunate, if we can all agree, that, Fraley throws the guy out at second base to kind of lead it off, and then there was a couple more hits, and you kind of get out of that inning, and you're like, how the hell did you not give up a run? 26 pitches I think he threw in the first inning, and he threw a clean frame. At the end of it all, Hunter Green, his fastball is going to get him by more times than not. But if he can, and he will continue to find a way to be able to locate, he's going to be fine. But I do concern myself over the fact that tonight was a night where, I'll be honest, I thought if he faced a team that was very dedicated to try to be patient and not swing at pitches outside the zone, that he might have struggled a little bit more than he did. But having said that, that's all for naught. Doesn't matter. They swung at him. And I think they swing at him, Nick, because it's a fastball that's 98, 99 mile an hour. You don't have a lot of time to react. So you're probably going to get more chase rate against guys like Hunter Green.
Well, this might have been the first night that Hunter Green's ballpark worked for him, because the Orioles come in. They lead Major League Baseball with 48 home runs coming into today. The next closest team is the Yankees at 41. So this is a incredible home run hitting team. They come into a small ballpark with the guy that throws the fastball. They're like, oh yeah, we're a home run hitting team. And it's almost like maybe Hunter Green was finally able to use it to his advantage. Not that that's going to ever be a recipe for success long term, but it might have actually worked to his benefit tonight.
It certainly could have. I mean, we got some supers to get to here real quick. One of them's from Matt Wells. I'll get to the rest, I promise, here in just a moment. But he said this is one of my favorite starts of his in a while. He was fighting control, battled, and then dominated. Good composure. Good sign. Completely agree. I don't think he had, quite honestly, his best stuff, or what he felt. I don't think he really felt like he was in control a whole lot in this baseball game. I thought he was fighting it a lot, and he walked obviously some guys. He lost some guys. And, unfortunately, that's why his pitch count sometimes does kind of creep up from time to time, is because when he has those decisive pitches, a 2-2 pitch that he's trying to throw for a strike, and it ends up being a ball, and then he ends up walking a guy, and then it turns into what he could have gotten an out from, 7 or 8 pitches ago. His command kind of let him down. So, but moving forward here, we have, of course, game time for those that are looking maybe to go down to the ballpark, or maybe you're looking to go to some other event. FC Cincinnati, maybe a concert. If you've been watching Reds baseball, Might consider a concert. But you can go to the Game Time app, download the app, and use the code CINCY, CINCY, and get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But use code CINCY, CINCY, $20 off your first purchase, and you'll be helping us out as well, and we appreciate that. And I just mentioned at the start of the show, listen, folks, Man Therapy, an organization that has partnered with us. They want folks to know, and statistically speaking, I know there's a lot of people in here. Statistically speaking, obviously, somebody wants in or should hear this message. If you're feeling bad, you're feeling down, don't let the tough times get you. All right? There's help out there. If you need help, seek it. No problem. Call 988, text 988, whatever it is that you need to do. Go get some help. All right, Fernando Cruz. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to do some supers here really quickly. Big Z said, love Toxic Trace. I don't know if we love Toxic Trace, to be honest. We only love Toxic Trace because it makes us maybe feel a little bit better, but we all know Toxic Trace means that things aren't going right. Congrats on Betty, Nick. So that's shout out to you, Nick. Don't know if you know that. But he says, but will she ever see a Reds W? Her little eyes have been scarred. Love you guys.
That's tough. Don't put that on her. Don't put that evil on her, Ricky Bobby.
Big Z is always coming through for us. We appreciate you, Big Z. Gadzooks said, congrats again on the new baby, Nick. This is no longer a situation where the Reds can just wait for health. Something has to come from outside of Cincinnati. Trades, call-ups, anything. He's not wrong. I mean, Gadzooks, we appreciate you. I agree with you. Big Z says, just think some parents took their kid to their first baseball game and watched that. Oh, man. Yeah, it's tough.
Hopefully they were at least there for the first inning. They saw Elly De La Cruz on the base pads, still second base twice.
Yeah, he did. That was my favorite part. You know what he said to the first baseman, I think, when he got back to the bag? Now, I can't confirm this. I'd have to have John Boy get into it. But I'm pretty sure that he got back to the bag, and he's like, don't worry about it. I'll just steal it on the next pitch. And I think the first baseman laughed, and then he stole it on the next pitch. So there's that. But who knows? Yeah. Who really knows? All right, let's move forward here into what is, I guess, a tougher topic to talk about. Fernando Cruz came in, did his job, but obviously Emilio Pagan did not. I have my takes on this. I'm going to let you start it off.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, it really looks bad when Cruz only throws 6 pitches. And then you go to Emilio Pagan, and he gets absolutely rocked. My first thought is Emilio Pagan's been pretty disappointing. Now, it's a very, very small sample, and especially with relievers, you never want to jump too far,
right,
with what a reliever's done over a couple games. But there's no question he's been disappointing to this point. And after the fact, it does look really bad. But same time, look, Emilio Pagan's your $8 million reliever. Like, you have to use him in those spots. You can't blow through Fernando Cruz all year. So I don't know. Like, part of me wants to be like, yeah, that was a really bad move. But also part of me is like, Emilio Pagan's got to be better. And then the bigger part of me is like, the Reds' offense doesn't matter what any of these moves are.
I know. Let's be very clear. This is my take. Ready for it? I got a burning house, okay? I got a burning house. The house is on fire. And you guys want me to worry about my trash cans over there by the street. I'm not worried about the trash cans. If you've seen this team hit a baseball, and by hit a baseball, I mean not hit baseballs, if you think that I'm going to worry about this bullpen one iota or this starting pitching one iota, you're wrong. You are completely wrong. I feel like I basically got 2 kids that are looking to possibly go to jail, and somebody over here is telling me that I should worry about my 3rd child that got a B in English class, okay? I'm not concerned about the B in English class when I look over here and I got bigger fish to fry. This Pagan is I see Pagan sucks. Pagan sucks. Does he suck? I don't know, but I know this. He's not the problem. He's not the problem. Somebody was going to be Somebody was going to be the GOAT tonight. And by GOAT, I don't mean the greatest of all time. I mean a scapegoat. And by scapegoat, it was Emilio Pagan. Congratulations to him. And yes, let me be very clear. Did he throw the ball unbelievably well tonight? No. But two things happened. One, I think he turned his ankle on his first warm-up pitch, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to tough this out. And you know what, that's fine. If he's going to tough it out, he still gets the results. I'm not making an excuse for him. I'm just telling you, keep that in the back of your mind. The second thing is that he got a little unlucky on a rolled over ground ball that was a seeing eye single through the left side of the infield, and that kind of started the whole inning off. And then obviously after that, the wheels somewhat fell off. But you have a ball in right field. Fraley just barely missed. It's not his fault. He's not supposed to make a diving play, a diving catch. But again, to be very clear, these things go a fraction of an inch to the left and a fraction of an inch to the right. For Pagan, it's a completely different inning. So I'm just not gonna get overly concerned about Pagan yet. Fernando Cruz threw 6 pitches. That's the only area that I was gonna bring up, Nick. And again, let me be very clear when I say this. I'm not upset at Hunter Green. But I would say that is the situation where I would have loved Hunter to be able to finish that inning. I would have loved that. Now, it didn't work out. That's part of the deal. Hunter lost his last guy that he obviously was going to get to face on a walk, right? So they had to bring in Fernando. And for whatever reason, they just maybe didn't want to run Fernando back out there on basically a consecutive innings situation because of his previous outing. I think David Bell wanted to make sure that Fernando Cruz's next experience that he had, if he could get him this, was a positive one. So he got a positive result. You know what? You don't want to run Fernando Cruz back out there again, him get hit again, and then at some point you got a guy named Fernando Cruz who's been your best reliever. If not, it's been Diaz, whatever. We can argue about the semantics. I could care less. But one of your best relievers all year long. Then now you got a situation where he's had back-to-back games where he's come in and he's basically given up the lead or given up, not the lead, but basically he's given up what was a tie game or he was going to get the loss. And I don't think that David Bell wanted to do that. And at some point, you got to trust your guys that are in the bullpen. So I have no problem with David Bell going to Pagan, even if Cruz only threw 6 pitches.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a good point, too, about that I hadn't really thought about with Bell wanting Cruz to feel good after that really tough outing the last time out in San Diego. So, yeah, again, sure, it looks really bad when Pagan gets rocked. But if Pagan goes out and throws a 1-2-3 inning, it's never talked about. It's
right.
One of those situations.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, Candy has played his position relatively well, right? But I would also say out loud that if you want to use outs above average, that ground ball was a perfect example of why outs above average is it's a good indicative of kind of being able to figure out what guys can do from a range standpoint. Am I saying that Candelario should have 100% made that play where the seeing eye single existed? No, I'm not, but I would say that an above average defender would probably have made that play, and you would have never thought about Pagan giving up a hit. So just you got to keep those things in mind from time to time. All right, let's talk about something very positive. Elly de la Cruz. I'm trying to pump the brakes as much as I can, but if this kid's going to figure out how to be even semi-productive from the right-handed side of the plate, and he's starting to have some plate discipline. This is starting to not look like a fluke. I don't know what you got to do, Nick, but I would genuinely say I'm on your side of the aisle now. You just pay him whatever you got to pay him. There's obviously a line in the sand somewhere, but he's unbelievable. And I know people are going to kill me and be like, oh, well, was I frustrated at him at the beginning of the year based off of the way he was performing a little bit? Sure, but I'd never said he was going to Triple-A, to be very clear. The progression this kid has made is unbelievably impressive. I genuinely mean that.
Yeah, and he's going to slow up at some point. You know, we have said that, but man, what he's done and just the strides that he's taken with his plate discipline is just I don't know what to say about it. It's incredible. I never would have thought that part of his game would have advanced so quickly at this point in his career. And yeah, I mean, you don't get players like this in your organization very often.
No.
If ever, you may not get another Elly de la Cruz for a very, very, very long time. So, yeah, I mean, that's why look, you got to do whatever you can to get this guy locked up. And I know that's a lot easier said than done. There's a lot of layers that go to that. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, sign him or else, because I don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. But I think the Reds need to be making every conceded effort to do it. All right, and Trace, let's get it. Let's get into it here. All right, the Reds offense has stunk.
Yes, it has.
There's a lot of players that I'm worried about. Are they as good as we thought they were? And I think those are fair. But look, I'm looking at these numbers, and these guys aren't this bad. Jonathan
agree.
India's not as bad as his numbers right now. Spencer Steer, his numbers are way down. 246 average, 795 OPS. That's not Spencer Steer. That's going to go up. Tyler Stevenson, I think it's going to go up, but he's also actually played pretty well. Christian Encarnacion Strain, he's way better than that. Jeimer Candelari's got a 640 OPS. I'm kind of surprised to see that, but his average is going to go way up. Santiago Espinal, look at his baseball card. He's going to be better. You go down and down the list. Look, this may not be I don't think this offense, if this is the offense all year, it's not a good offense, but it's not this bad either. This is kind of the perfect storm of an offense that's not very good, that's also playing about as bad as they possibly could play at the same time. So it will get better. I don't think it's going to get great until you get guys like Noelvi Marte, Matt McLean, TJ Friedl is going to be a big piece of that as well. But it's also not this bad.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. As much as these guys aren't very good, period, some of them aren't very good, period, I don't think that they're this bad, right? I mean, we've had multiple games now where Elly De La Cruz is the only guy that's gotten hit. I want you to think about that. There's been 2 baseball games now within the span of, 2 weeks? That if Elly De La Cruz did not get a hit in the game, they would have been no hit. That's not good.
I mean, Elly De La Cruz is legitimately the only player on this team that is even remotely close to his preseason projections. Maybe Jake Fraley's pretty close.
Yeah, probably, but he hasn't.
Everyone
his availability's been bad.
Yeah, but everyone else is not even remotely close. Like, it is going to get better than this. How much better? I don't know. But this is as low as it gets with these players. Now, unfortunately, Elly De La Cruz is going to cool off at some point, and that's going to negate some of it. But if 8 guys start hitting better and 1 guy, as great as he is, hits worse, it's probably going to be a good trade-off.
Let's hope so. All right, folks. I know tonight's the toughest night to do it. But as I've said before, right? Tough times reveal true character. Everybody can jump on the bandwagon when it's easy. Everybody can be a Reds fan when it's easy. You want to be a nut cutter? You be a fan now. You watch the game tomorrow. You show up on Sunday. You watch this team. That's what a nut cutter does. And another nut cutter, if you think you're a nut cutter, you hit the like button. Because I know you think it's a gimmick. I know you think that maybe somehow it's a bit. I'm just telling you, we need it now more than we've ever needed it. I need as many likes that we can possibly have. I know we only have 182 people in there. And by only, that's about 120 more than we would have had last year at this time. So I just want to be very clear. 1, I love you. 2, I'm proud of you for being in here. Because in order for you to be in here, you know that when we win the World Series, at some point, you will that into it. You speak that into existence. This chat is going to enjoy it the most. You know why? Because tough times reveal character, and all of you folks in the chat right now, you are a nut cutter. Period. You don't watch shows like this unless you are one. Let all those other extra 250, 300 people come in here when the going gets good. That's fine. That's fine. But you know what? You're here. And if you're here, you might as well hit the like button, all right? We got to get at least like 100, 120 likes. I don't give a damn what it takes. If you got to pull out every burner that you own in your phone to get us to 120 likes, you do it. Because we're going to win tomorrow. We are going to win a baseball game tomorrow, damn it. I don't care what the hell the stats say. I don't care how bad we were today. We're going to find a way. We're going to find a way to win a baseball game. That's what we do. There's no excuses. Yes. Do we have a piss poor offense? You're damn right we do. Yes. Do we have Andrew Abbott going out there? Yes, we do. Is that better than Nick Lodolo? No, it's not. We probably should win on Sunday, but I don't want to wait till Sunday. I'm a greedy bastard. I want to win tomorrow, and you need to hit the like button if you want to win tomorrow. Thank you. I'm done ranting. Reds MILB, Nick.
Let's go. All right, Louisville, they lost 4-0 to St. Paul. Louis Varland, he threw 7 shutout innings for St. Paul, allowed just 3 hits and 0 walks with 8 strikeouts. It seems familiar. Varland is a guy that has been in the majors each of the last 3 years. Bats fall to 15 and 16 on the season. TJ Friedl was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. He was the DH on Friday night. He did play center field on Thursday. Did, however, have 2 hard hit balls. Saw a total of 15 pitches and 4 at-bats. So I think overall, really positive 2 games from TJ Friedl. I didn't get to watch every at-bat tonight, but I watched a couple of them, and he looked comfortable, which I think is the most important thing. Not a whole lot else in this one. Reese Hines 1 for 4. Blake Dunn 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Chattanooga, they're down 1-0. Their game got suspended in the bottom of the second. Hunter Parks, he left the bases loaded with 2 outs. He walked 4 batters in an inning in the third. Tyler Callahan was 1 for 1 so far. Down to High A, the Dayton Dragons, they won 8-5 over West Michigan. They improved to 11-14 on the season. Rhett Lauder allowed 3 runs over 6 innings. Didn't walk anyone, struck out 9. Lauder now has a 2.49 ERA through 5 starts, 29 strikeouts in 25 and a third innings pitched. Cam Collier, 3 for 5 with a double. He's hitting .313, 944 OPS through 23 games. Sal Stewart, he had been struggling a little bit. Good night for him, 2 for 4 with a double. Hector Rodriguez, 1 for 5. Jay Allen walked twice, stole a base. Leo Balcazar was on twice, stole a base. Victor Acosta on base 3 times and stole a base. So a good night really all around from the Dayton offense. Not a good night from the Daytona Tortugas offense. They lose 7-1 to Palm Beach, but they are still 15-10. Reds MILB best. Alfredo Duno was on base twice. Ricardo Cabrera was on base twice.
Yeah, and I just want to also add that Rhett Lauder, he's just this is child's play. This is child's play. He's going to be in Chattanooga, got to be in Chattanooga. If it's not his next start, it's the start after, because this kid just goes out there and shoves.
Hopefully it's not his next start, because his next start would be in Lake County. And your boys requested press credentials, so we'll see if Lake County will grant me press credentials. Interesting. Case study.
This is just what I needed. Just what I needed, man. I'll tell you what, Nick Kirby, sometimes he'll make you laugh. This is it was a tough night. It was a tough night. This baseball team, man, tell you what. They'll make you question things. Remember that 988 text, call, do whatever you need to do if you're feeling down. All right, folks. You just heard what I had to say. We do play again. And you know what? We play again tomorrow, believe it or not. Hey, we actually get a chance to redeem ourselves. Best thing about baseball, you get a chance to redeem yourself the very next day. You don't have to wait a week like those other sports. All right. Who, what, when, where, and why, Nick?
All right. Tomorrow, Saturday, 6:40 start time. Reds will be going up against another lefty, John Means. It's his first start of 2024. Means was a guy who broke on the scene in 2019, was an all-star that year, finished second in the AL Rookie of the Year, but he had Tommy John surgery after just 2 starts in 2022, only made 4 starts in 2023, so that's just 6 starts over the last 2 seasons. He had a flare-up to his surgically repaired elbow back in October, and he didn't start his throwing program this season until about a month behind. So he made 6 rehab starts, kind of more of an extended spring training at Triple-A Norfolk. Had an 8.68 ERA overall. However, in his last start, he went 7 innings, allowed just 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and struck out 8. John Means had a nice career with the Orioles, but he's a free agent after this year. Was kind of surprised to see that. Never faced the Reds before. Jeimer Candelario is 3 for 8 with a double and a triple. And Santiago Espinal is 2 for 2 with a double. So hopefully that can keep up. Andrew Abbott, last start, gave up 4 runs in the first inning at the Texas Rangers, but he really did settle in nice, retired 11 of the final 13. Last year against the Orioles at Camden Yards, went 6 innings, just allowed 2 hits, 1 run, struck out 8 batters. Both hits that he allowed were to Jordan Westberg. That was actually his second career major league game. Orioles not so good, though. Their team-weighted runs created plus coming in today, 112 against lefties, 103 against righties. So they have been a better hitting team so far against lefties. So Abbott, he's going to really have his work cut out for him against a really, really good Orioles lineup that's even better against lefties. But look, hopefully you can get on John Means on his first start back, and hopefully, that could be something positive.
Well, good news is I don't think it gets much lower, to be quite frank. So can't score less than 0. That's the positive thing. Craig, member for 1 month, says since it is officially after midnight on the East Coast, happy birthday to Nick. Is that the first person to wish you happy birthday?
Yeah. May the 4th be with you.
Craig Sandlin, first person to wish Nick a happy birthday, said, let's get a W tomorrow to even up the series. Keeping it simple. Putrid Talent. You shouldn't talk about the Reds lineup like that, man. Trace says, Trace, your passion keeps me loving the Reds. Well, I appreciate you saying that's very nice of you. I just want to say this before we wrap the show up. Last week was a tough week for me. I was just burnt out, tired, had a lot of the East Coast or the West Coast games coupled with work. And when I say work, I don't even mean the shows. I'm just talking about things that are behind the scenes that probably you shouldn't care about. Neither, I'm not going to say I shouldn't care about it, but you shouldn't have to worry about it. But it's a tough week for me. Nick, and it's no disrespect to everybody else that jumps on this show to help us out from time to time. That's not what I mean by this at all. But I realize that, quite honestly, there's only one way to do this show, and it's obviously with you. You do an unbelievable job. The behind-the-scenes stuff that you do, putting the graphics together, making the streams, making the thumbnails, putting out a good podcast. I would just tell you, honestly, I know I've told you this before, but I'll tell you this out in front of everybody else. Nick Kirby is a, and I almost cussed right there, but he's an absolute dog. And I hope you guys appreciate the work he puts into this, because without that guy, there would be a pretty piss poor podcast every day. I'll tell you that, because I was running on absolute just fumes. And I was thinking to myself, Nick does this every night. And that's what actually got me to where I at least put in a clip of an interview every night, because I was like, you know what? If Nick's a dog, if he's able to strife through this, I could at least put a clip or 2 in there. Not going to be as good with the stats and the Reds MILB and who's next, but you know what? I can at least do that. But I'm just saying this out loud. Thank you to have you back. I'm glad you have you back. I'm glad to hear the newborn's doing well, and we appreciate you. So leave it at that.
Well, I love doing this. I'm glad to be back. I'm sitting in the hospital, kind of watching a little bit of these games on my phone. I'm like, I have no one to talk to about this. I gotta, you get it all stuck in there. So, it's good to be back. Appreciate you, Trace. Love doing this every day. There's not gonna be any interviews tomorrow because I'm looking and they didn't post them. So sorry, folks. You got me and Trace. That's it on your Saturday morning.
It turns out it was so bad they just said to hell with it. The hell with it tonight. Pack it up, boys. We'll be back tomorrow.
It's late. We have posted shit tonight.
That's right. Putrid Talent finally wrapped the shows up. Says, Kirby, bless you, the family, man. Congrats. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Nick. Save some of those for tomorrow, everybody, because we're going to have a hell of a show tomorrow. I'm going to have so many fireballs in me by the end of the night tomorrow, it's going to get real raucous. I'll tell you what I'll do for you. I'm going to take a fireball shot for every run the Reds score tomorrow. I'll do that. I'll do that tomorrow. You know what? I'll do that. If that means that I'm just going to be absolutely plastered and laying on the floor back here, I'll do it. Every time the Reds score 1 run, you got 1 shot. Simple as that. Simple as that. You like that? That's what we're going to do. So here's the thing. For myself and Nick, we appreciate you. I mean, I genuinely mean that. On a night like tonight, we need you to pump us up. We needed your help. Could you imagine having to come into a show tonight and look and see five lonely, lovable people like us in there? But there wasn't.
we had a lot of OGs in here. You guys picked us up. We'll get through this together. We'll lock arms. We're going to lock arms, and we're going to walk through this. Basically, what did Pete Rose say? He'd walk through hell in a gasoline suit. By God, we're going to walk through hell in a gasoline suit. We're doing it. We're right in the middle of it right now. If you don't think so, go back and look at the box score from tonight. But you know what? We're Reds fans. We were born for this. Some say pain. I say strife. We'll get through it. We'll be back. We'll be better than ever tomorrow. And we're going to find a way to win a game. We're going to find a way to win a game. Thank you for all the super chats. Daniel Myers. See ya. Take care. Go Reds. Be back tomorrow.